Welcome back to another episode of the Pin High Podcast presented by Pin High Media. And what are they going to say now? Let's get into it.
This is Jordan Spieth here, and
This is the Pin High Podcast. Nice.
I didn't realize what you were talking about at first.
There we go. I thought of that all day. I was like, this is what I'm going to do on the podcast.
You were really excited just to say that.
Oh my God, I was so excited. There's a little comedic pause there. I was like, they're going to love this one.
I thought I 100% thought you just messed up at the beginning. You were going to ask to do it over again, and I was waiting for more to be said, and then I took a second and thought about it. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, for those of you who do listen every week, we probably go through at least we go through at least one or two intros a week. So
yeah. Well, no, I usually do. I'd say I get it more often than not.
It's an over under of a half of an intro done, and it's kind of 50. It's kind of even money.
It's like minus 175 under.
Yeah, that's probably fair. It's probably fair.
But with that being said, let's go into the clubhouse and no, wait.
inside the ropes.
Inside the ropes. Wow.
There we
go. There we go. We are not cutting that out.
Let's get inside the ropes so we can talk about what the hell that intro is all about. So obviously, if you're watching the YouTube or listening to the podcast, you know like what we're talking about. But if you didn't watch the golf, Will Zalatoris beat Sepp Straka of all people in the first round of the FedEx Cup playoffs, and finally makes the big putt. Not that at the U.S. Open he made his big putt to extend it on the 18th hole, but he ended up missing
US Open? You mean the PGA?
PGA.
Yeah, whatever.
He did make the big putt to extend it in this one as well.
He made it twice, didn't he?
Yeah, he did this.
Yeah,
he made two huge putts. So like
now he finally wins. He finally makes the biggest putt.
Yeah. A bogey putt on a par 3.
And that playoff was just insane. Like
playoff was drunk.
Literally. I mean, like so they went down 18 for the first two holes, I think. And like Sepp Straka just like flirted with the water like hardcore. Maybe it wasn't that bad, but like from that camera angle, it looked like that ball was going straight into the water, and it just
off the tee. I immediately thought like it was hooking, and he was kind of leaning. And I thought, oh, that's definitely going in the water, and it was fine. It was just being like a very kind of like 18 at Sawgrass, is a very, very dangerous shot. I didn't see the last few holes. I literally watched the first one. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go out and get. Like I had to go out and get groceries, and I just get text after text after text.
So after that,
you get groceries in the middle of the playoff.
Yeah.
Well, I had to get stuff before dinner, and like it wasn't good timing. It wasn't good timing.
But whatever, they get through that hole, and they tie that hole, and then they go back to the tee, and Straka hits it even closer to the water this time. And you're like, what is he like doing? It's like, yeah, Sepp Straka somebody tweeted like Sepp Straka stares a dealer in the face on 19. Like it says hit. But like literally like flirted even closer to the water. And then you have Zalatoris who went like way right, I think, right on that hole. And you got Sepp Straka like taking his like pants off. I'm like, what is going on here? And then he decided not to do that. So
he was actually, I forget who was saying this, but somebody was saying how that was probably just gamesmanship, and like he wanted Will Zalatoris
really
to think that he was going to be able to hit it out of the, be able to put one foot in the water and hit it.
I mean,
actually going to do it.
He ended up taking a drop, but all he had to do was like, it ended up working out okay because he hit a really nice shot from the drop, but like
it didn't end
he could have just like punched it out and like been a little bit closer, I guess. Like it wasn't like that risky of a shot. Like there was no real chance he was going back in the water, I think. But like Will Zalatoris had the layup from his all the way right.
Well,
takes a drop.
didn't Zalatoris, like, wasn't he like a tree branch away from going out of bounds on
Pretty
that hole?
much, yeah. So he
Pretty
like
much.
he hit the tree branch and the ball just like popped straight up in the air and then landed like really soft, like right
Oh
next
my
to the
gosh.
fence. But yeah, so I mean, you have to get a little luck to win tournaments like this. Straka takes the drop. He hits a beautiful shot, and like I think Zalatoris ended up hitting on like pretty close as well, but not as close as Straka, and he still had to make another putt.
13-footer. Yeah.
Yeah, so he made another putt to like keep the playoff going. And then we go to this par three, and like
That was the what are they gonna say now?
yeah,
No, I thought that was the one on 18
That was the
on
one on 18.
regulation.
So
Regulation,
he
he made
made
the
3
putt.
big putts then.
he made pretty much.
Yeah.
So like
There
they
were-
get to the par three, and this is where like you thought it couldn't get any like worse than like what just happened on the last hole, like crazy par three. Zalatoris hits his ball like probably didn't have enough club or took like a really like aggressive line, and
It
it
was
like
way too aggressive.
yeah, it
It
like
both
hits
went
it hits
short.
in the rough. It hits in the rough like like short, like it's a little island green, and then it just takes 3 hops on the like on the rocks.
It was more than 3
Maybe
hops.
a little, well,
I watched it
three
over. It
big
was
hops and then like a bunch of like small ones, and then it just
yeah.
like stood on the rocks, didn't go in the water.
Well,
And then you're like,
it got wedged in between
yeah.
the rocks and the grass.
And then so Straka's hitting second, and you're like, all he has to do is hit it to the center of the green. He wins the golf tournament, right? And
Mm.
what
It's
happens
even
next
worse.
is like he hits an even worse shot. It, like pretty much on the same exact line as Zalatoris, but he doesn't get the rock bounces and it goes in the water. So he has to hit from the drop area.
So anyway, but I saw a video today of someone going out and seeing what would have happened, and obviously, I mean, maybe Will Zalatoris does it differently, but like, because he was a professional golfer executing the shot versus just like some media member. But they put the ball there in between the rock and the grass and tried it out, and it just went straight back
in the water. Yeah, I saw that as well.
Me being someone who picked Will Zalatoris was just yelling at the TV, "Do not hit the ball. Do not hit that ball."
What made his
crazy
decision?
that he was even considering that. Like that, there was no chance. That was either going to get wedged further in.
Yeah, and what made his
decision
easier is Straka was out, so he had to go back to the drop zone and hit. And he hit one like he hit a terrible shot out of the drop zone, put it in the bunker, and then he was still out from the bunker based on where Zalatoris's ball was sitting on the grass. So he had to hit his bunker shot as well, and he didn't really hit a great bunker shot either. So like that made his decision so easy to go back to the drop zone.
Well, I truly wonder if he was actually going to hit that if Straka hit a good shot from the drop zone or a good bunker shot, and also. Like Pat, when you were saying the gamesmanship, I wonder if Will was just kind of standing there and saying like acting like he was gonna hit that and say it like acting like, oh, I can get this up, and made Straka say, I might have to make this right now. Like I didn't even think about that really, and like maybe that was what he was doing.
Yes, but I also think it's possible that he really wanted to hit it because I mean, obviously, like so close. All you have to do is literally, if he just puts that
anywhere like a 2 inches onto the fringe,
like it's
fine.
Good job.
I mean, listen, and you have Joel Stock on his bag, first time caddying him, I believe.
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say, I think that he really wanted to do it, and the caddy, you know, being his caddy, or also first time on the bag for him, really earned his keep by being like let's not do this.
I mean, after Straka hits those 2 bad shots, it's such an easy decision to go back to the drop zone.
It was.
Guy's a great wedge player too.
It would have been. It was honestly. It was crazy. Like we said, it was crazy in the first place that he was even considering. I mean, yeah, you take all your options.
Up and down. Still had to get it up and down from 92 yards.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah, but like I guess the worst thing that would have happened is they would have just went to another playoff hole. Like
you know what?
He got a good break to begin with.
The camera angle from the like following the ball from the drop zone on both of their shots, you had no clue while the ball was in the air and you couldn't see the green, like what was going on with those shots. Because like
where it's gonna drop.
The first one was Sepp Straka. You're like, I have no clue where this is going, and it ends up in the like long and bounces in the bunker. And then with Zalatoris one, you're just like, please don't mess this up too. As it's in the air and then sticks it to like, I don't know, probably like 6-7 feet, 8
6
feet.
feet, yeah.
Yeah.
Like which at that point you knew, like you kind of had to know he was gonna make the putt.
He really died it in there.
Yeah, he did, and the reaction was great. I love the reaction of it. It was like you saw in 18 earlier, and he's crying his fiance's arm. Like that was, it was very, very cool. Very, very happy for him. But very, very happy that we gave him motivation to go out there and win a golf tournament. Show he doesn't need us in the bag.
People are saying that we're responsible for the turnaround.
People are saying.
Yeah.
People are saying.
Should I DM him again and be like, hey?
You should.
I wonder if he saw. I wonder if he saw the post that.
I'm just gonna tuck my tail between my legs and just never DM Will Zalatoris again.
Well, if you DM, yeah, honestly, maybe he goes on the Finau run and never loses again.
He's yet to see the tag in the.
Well, I'm sure he got flooded with DMs.
He's active right now. Should I send him a video chat request?
No.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, no, but like, good for him. It's been a long time coming, and
Absolutely.
People, again, the conversation that we always bring up: do the floodgates open now?
I mean, he could go on.
It happened 3 times this year already.
Well, Patrick Cantlay run when the FedEx Cup.
It 100% makes sense that he would win this week, because I'm seeing it's a bomber's paradise at the BMW.
Big green.
From what I've seen, and I mean he's hot. Also, another stat that I learned, forget where I saw this on, but it was on Twitter. Will Zalatoris has the 7th best 3-putt avoidance in the field this week, and the greens are like massive.
That's why I saw that too. So the greens are huge.
I mean, like, the guy hits the ball close to the pin. Like, he's such a good ball striker. Like that, his proximity is going to be pretty close a lot of the time.
True. Maybe that doesn't necessarily mean but I feel like he's also pretty good at lag putting. He
has that ugly. He has that ugly stroke from like within like 3 feet, but he like makes the putts. So
he's not like a great putter, but he's not like, there's people like, there's Luke List. There's people that are worse.
Well, by the way, Luke List is someone I kind of like this week.
He's a horrendous putter, but yeah.
Oh, so bad. Oh, actually, you know what? That's probably a big time fade then, because like he's gonna be on these massive greens. He's an awful putter.
Yeah, like I think he's the worst putter on tour.
I didn't even know Lucas was in the field.
He won the Farmers, so he's just like carrying that all year.
One of the last things I want to bring up about this tournament is I want to know what you guys think about the point system, like in terms of like how much this tournament is weighted and how much the FedEx Cup like legs are weighted, and then also just like, the reason I bring that up is it was crazy how like JJ Spawn, when he was winning, was going to be like the 3rd ranked guy. And I get it. It's like, he had a pretty good season and everything. And like, if you win, you deserve to, if you win the playoffs, you deserve to go on a run. But it's just like, what do you guys think of the weighting system?
So we talked about this last year. I think that like the FedEx Cup just kind of needs an overhaul, because Will Zalatoris is now number 1 in the rankings, and Scotty Scheffler won like 5 times this year.
Scotty Scheffler also got cut.
He did get cut, but it doesn't really, like, I know he got cut, but he still won 4 times. Will Zalatoris has won 1 time. Like, Scotty Scheffler probably should be number 1 in the standings. No,
I get that, but at the same time, it's think about like, if the NFL playoffs, you can go 16-0, and then if you have 1 bad week in the postseason, you're done. That's it. But like, that's not the same. But
yeah,
it's like I think it could still use a little tweaking, where like
there's something
such a great season and it's a different situation than a football or basketball or something like that. But he's still number 2, I'm sure. So it's not like he's in a bad spot after this. it's not like he's like dropping out of the top 30 after missing the cut and after having a great season. He's not getting totally screwed over. He's just
No, he's like
dropping the
he's like
spot.
right on his back, but like
And Scotty's a interesting case because like he's truly like was so far ahead of everyone in this going
Yeah.
into this, and he did get cut. I feel like if he doesn't get cut and he posts like I don't know, like a top 20, like
Is
a
he still second?
no, if he literally just didn't get cut, he would have been in. He's only
yeah,
100. He's a
he would have
hundred
been
and he's 121 or
I would
24
say
points behind. Like
because Cam Smith is probably was probably second, and he's probably he didn't jump
third.
Scotty, and he was in contention for like a part of the weekend until we can
Yeah.
talk about the shot penalty. I don't know.
I mean,
I don't
whatever.
know about that, too.
Zalatoris did have 9 top 10s, so that does kind of
But yeah, and it's not like he played bad all year. Like he played great all year. He never won. Like you said, JJ Spawn, he gets those points for winning, and he's had a good year for his standards. But it is kind of like it. I mean, but like again, like winning these events are supposed to have the best players in the world minus Liv, and so I think it's fair that it kind of means more.
yeah.
even like I like even finishing second, I guess. Like Sepp Straka went from 36 to 8th. He had that one win
I
earlier
guess
this
fair.
year, and then he only had 4 top 10s besides like that one win. So
I mean,
And also someone was bringing up how Sepp Straka, like someone was bringing up in this like Twitter argument, they're like Sepp Straka is now ranked ahead of Rory McIlroy, and I was like, well, yeah, Rory's played like 9 events this year.
but
Like,
Rory's
yeah.
won two events. Sepp Straka's won one. Rory's been 8 top 10. Sepp Straka has 4.
I know, but like they were like, why is Sepp Straka now all of a sudden above Rory? I was like, well, Rory got cut, and he also played in like probably like half the events that Sepp
Yeah,
Straka.
it's a combination of like
You gotta play
maybe
events.
like the wins are worth so much in the regular season. Like you see a guy like Luke List and Substraka we haven't heard of for feels like months that they're in the top 30 or we're in the top like right around the top 30 and we haven't heard of them forever. And then you have to play well in the playoffs. Like that's just like if this is the current system, you have to play well to kind of keep that up there and like have but also at the same time you can have one good week and then you can have one good week and like you can play great here or in the BMW this week and maybe miss the cut in the other one and you'd be kind of on the verge and like if you have one great week you're going to be in the tour championship. It kind of
Also,
like
another thing
top 3
is like, oh, there should just be a regular season where there kind of is. I mean, they have the Verizon or the Comcast like top 10 that all gets money. So it's
Like,
not like
how much money do they get for that?
they get it. I mean, it's not like a small amount of money.
It's not LIV Golf money, is what I'm saying.
No.
Which
But
is like that's the whole like argument, I guess. Like,
but that's
these
like
guys do so well during the season, and they don't really get rewarded for
but
it.
that's why they're revamping all these events and making them more higher priority for my thing is I
don't
this,
think you still get a decent amount of money for being like number 1 in the Comcast top 10. But the point is,
and if you're number 1 in the Comcast number 1 at the end of the season, you're basically guaranteed to be in the tour championship no matter what you do. Like Sky just missed the cut and he's second place still, and then he's gonna win. And even if he doesn't win the tour championship, he'll win millions and millions and millions of dollars. And they're still adding more next year to it because this whole overhaul of the PGA Tour, they're adding even more prize money.
If you truly want to make this like playoffs, like this week, fine, like you have it set up as normal, but next week you clean slate. So 1 through 30 make it into the tour championship, and then that's where you're ranked.
I think that's
maybe the money has to move around a little bit. Like you take more of the money from this and put it into the regular season standings. But like, I don't know, that'd be fun having like a 8-way tie for 30, like going out there trying
like a match play thing.
Trying to get a spot in the tour championship.
I like that, but I think that only works if
kind of not fair.
It's
really.
It's kind of not fair, but like at the same time, I think it works if it's the whole playoffs in general is not 125 people, but it gets like whittled down the start, and then you can maybe do something like that.
Where's the incentive at that point to like play as many regular season events when you can kind of just get in and
Yeah, but like, well,
Well, that's why I'm saying you take
that's
more.
what I mean. Like,
You take the
what
money
if,
from this and you put it into the regular season standings, where like now 1, 2, and 3 get 15 million for the regular season, and then
okay.
there's probably a little less money in the playoffs here, but you get like you get to win the playoffs, you get to win the Super Bowl, you get your championship ring,
but they don't
whatever.
care about the Super. They don't care
I know
about
they
the
don't care
FedEx
about the
Cup.
Super Bowl, but like they will care about the regular season events. And then like once you're in this point,
Yeah,
you're still gonna get money for winning the playoffs. But I just think it'd be a little more fun that way.
I think they should keep, Pat, to your point. I think they should keep them, like, I think they should keep the money the same, keep the incentive. But I think it's like you say, like there's no incentive to, like, once you get in there to get in. But I think if they whittled it down, like it was maybe it was 30 guys at the start of the playoffs, or like maybe a little bit more. Like it gets you incentive to play those. Like Seth Straka won one tournament and probably played in a lot of other tournaments and didn't do it well, and he finished 36. Like he was still, like, you can't just win a tournament and then automatically get in. Like you have to. I think if they whittle it down, they could do more. Like maybe they do a match play. Like you can, that'd be a lot of fun. Like a tour championship, imagine that, a match play bracket, like kind of like the NCAA's. Like that'd be
I don't
sick.
want match play. I feel like that's just once a year for WGC is fine.
Yeah, no, match play doesn't
mean,
really move
yeah,
the needle for me
but
that
it's
much.
sick. It's awesome when it's done, like in the correct format. It's so cool. I mean, it's just, I think they can do, like we've said this multiple years basically now. They
I
can
mean,
do better, but
maybe you
it's
just got to get into the
not
top. Like maybe it's just clean slate for the tour championship. You get into the top 30, and like it's just a tournament. Whoever wins
I
the
don't
tour
hate that.
championship wins.
Yeah, I'm
Because
not
like
really
this is like what we have now is better than like what we had before, where you had like a
it
tour
is.
championship winner and then you had a FedEx Cup
Yeah,
playoffs
that was
winner.
stupid.
But like
That was
now they're
stupid.
starting off like 10, 9, 8, like whatever, like under. What if it's just a clean slate? Like you just got to make it to the tour championship, and then all bets are off. Because then you give
wouldn't
number
guys
30 a
not play
chance.
in the wouldn't the guys like you wouldn't play in the FedEx
I mean, I
signature if
guess
you're the
you're
number
right.
one ranked guy.
Probably not.
There's no there's
But
Yeah,
you deserve to I guess have that
skip.
they
time
did
off because
before.
you had that time off, or you had
So
such good years.
a good segue is that some of these questions may be answered pretty soon because there's rumblings of Tiger Woods going down to Delaware
Yeah.
today, or he did. I feel like I saw a video of him getting off.
That video was
Private
that was a ridiculous video. So much to unpack in that like
Who was
jet. I
in
actually haven't
video.
watched it yet. Should I watch it
Tiger
right now?
Tiger gets off the plane. He's wearing like a really weird fit. Like I
Yeah.
don't really know how to like explain what he's wearing, but like a
That's
button
just
down.
Tiger
Like,
too.
yeah,
He
no,
wears
it's just
weird
Tiger.
clothes.
They get out. Him and Ricky Fowler get off the private jet. There's a Nissan just like sitting there. Tiger just like hops into the driver's seat of the Nissan. Ricky hops into the passenger seat, and they just like drive away in a Nissan with like Tiger driving the Nissan.
Interesting.
Tiger literally looks like he's going to like his farmhouse and going like
Right? Yeah.
something like that. It's not something you would expect from one of these guys to wear.
But I think we'll get answers potentially if this meeting. I feel like details are going to leak from this meeting, and I don't know what they're going to talk about. I don't know if they're going to talk about these increased purses or this fall series that they've. I honestly don't even know too much about all of these plans that they've had to kind of combat LIV, but
we can definitely. I want to dive into that more. I want to find out. Like I want to know. Like I want to know as much as I can about all this stuff. And I think. Well, I think just Tiger being there in general is just makes it like if you're in a players meeting with all these guys and then Tiger speaking to you and saying like, why would you go to this thing? Like, why would you do this? Like, this is where like you're gonna compete here. Like, that would be a pretty good convincing argument for the greatest player of all time to say, out like stay here and challenge for these like play these tournaments and like we're gonna get more money. Like that's why I'm here. Like that kind of thing. I think it's good that Tiger's doing this, honestly.
Yeah, I mean Patrick Cantlay had a really funny quote today. Like Like
Funny?
obviously
Funny?
all these like rumors are coming out. He's like, well, I've heard that Tiger is a new commissioner, right? At least that's what everybody's saying. I'm going to the meeting. I'm
Yeah.
going to listen to it.
Basically, he basically could be if he wanted to. If anything Tiger says, people would listen to. Did you guys hear about this Cam Smith penalty?
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously.
I had heard about it and I didn't really know. Like apparently the rules official was watching on TV like the replay later that night and then brought it up the next morning and it's
The
sounded
the
ridiculous.
PGA Tour knows he's going to LIV Golf, and I think, they're looking for something there. I bet you if somebody else did, they wouldn't be like fully eyed in on Cam Smith's round of golf looking for a breach.
I don't know.
How bad would it look for the PGA Tour if Cam Smith won this week?
Well, he's out.
Well, no, I mean like if he won at the FedEx St. Jude.
Oh, yeah. That would have been
It would have been bad.
catastrophic.
Because he was what was he? 2 shots off the lead. They ended up pushing him to 4 shots off the lead after the 2-stroke penalty. Didn't have a great final round, and then now he's withdrawn from
Which is, but I think the whole thing is just ridiculous. And it's that one, the fact that you can have your scorecard signed and your round is over, and then you come back the next day and someone's watching on TV and says this was happening. It's like it doesn't happen in the NFL. The NFL can't go back and say, "Oh, we have to go. We're going to go back and replay this down tomorrow. He was out of bounds, but we got the review wrong, so we're going to replay this down, and it's the scores changed now." Like that doesn't happen in any other sport, and I think it's crazy and stupid for it to be like what. Like what? Why can't there be someone just watching the broadcast as it's happening and say that was the penalty and call it in? Why does it be?
Well, that brings me to another thing. Cam Smith got like cut from the broadcast this week. Like it was very obvious. He was like 1 shot back. They showed it like 2 shots of him like all week.
I mean,
like NBC just loves to do that because they have the contract with the PGA Tour. Like they're not going to show Cam Smith if they know that he's leaving. So
I don't really blame them. I mean,
Makes sense.
like if Cam Smith won the tournament, would they might have not even like shown, they might not even interviewed him after.
I think it's crazy how fast people went from, oh, I love Cam Smith to just like, oh wow, this guy's pretty hateable. Like for just because of his decision.
One decision. Yeah. Which I'm not even sure if that was entirely his.
Well,
decision.
it's to me, it's like I don't really hate him, but if all these rumors are swirling around and you're in the press conference saying like no comment, all this stuff, like it's pretty clear, it's pretty obvious you're going. And like at that point, I'm like, all right, dude, like just like if you're gonna go,
Can't
just
say
go.
it though, or else
yeah, like I don't want to like have to deal with this whole drama that's gonna ensue of people like playing like they're not showing you on coverage. Like if you're gonna go, just go. Like it's like I don't want you to like say like no comment or like I don't know what else he's gonna say, but like he's not just gonna come out and say like yeah I'm going and I'm playing this week because then he wouldn't be able to play. But it's just all this whole thing is so annoying and frustrating and stupid at the same time. It's just like it's just annoying. Like I don't know how else to describe it.
Yeah, I mean,
I wonder if that's part of the reason why he's not playing this week.
it could be.
You said it was a hip thing, but I think
You're not.
Was it a hip thing?
I think
I haven't heard anything about Cam Smith's hip all season, so
It's a pretty significant chance to like really get up there to
if this was if this was a major or the tour championship, he'd probably play.
yeah, but I'm sure like he saw all the BS of them giving him like 2-stroke penalties, and it's like I'm just not going to deal with that this
He's
week.
probably
still going to be in the top 10 like next week.
He's probably exhausted from the media attention that he gets at these tournaments. It probably sucks.
Yeah,
I don't feel bad for him because
no, I don't feel bad for him at all.
Choice when you took the money, and I don't blame you for it. I feel like we've all kind of, you guys weren't really on LIV. I kind of liked LIV a little bit. before, but I've completely flip-flopped. I'm just not really a fan of it at all now.
Just the product is just a little off, but it's
Well,
obviously
like,
affecting the game because they're having meetings and
It's
they're flying
actually not
Tiger Wood
even
in.
it's
Woods
not
in,
even
like,
like the actual action of these players going over that's like the part I don't like about it. I just don't think it's good, and I just think
you
it
can't.
sucks. It
You
sucks
you
that now
you.
that it's split up. It just like it sucks, and the product
Yeah.
sucks.
You can't. There's in no world would you see a moment like this where Will Zalatoris is crying after he wins and saying what they're gonna say now after he makes a putt to go into a playoff with Sepp Straka of all people, and there's like that just that won't happen on LIV. It won't. Like they won't.
when
They
James
might. I
Piot
would even say
wins the
instead of that on LIV, the guy who they're gonna be in a playoff and they're probably gonna do rock paper scissors to see who wins. Like it's like who the hell knows what's gonna happen with that? And like they don't care. It's just nothing matters.
Yeah, I completely agree, but we're
I
gonna
mean,
keep
what
talking
I mean,
about it.
some people
Yeah.
like LIV, but we'll have to see what happens. I mean, these like it's obviously affecting the game because like I said, they're bringing in Tiger Woods to like talk. Like
Which is they
No,
should
I
have.
mean,
They should have
Liv's
done a
done
long
a
time.
nobody just gets
fantastic
Tiger
job.
Woods to just like fly out somewhere randomly when he doesn't want to and like talk. So like
You
there's
got to
something
give it
going
to
on.
Liv. Like they've done a sick job of like getting this off the ground. I don't think anybody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
recruitment's
it's
No
been
a
one
insane.
recycled
expected
thing,
this.
but everybody says it, but I don't think anybody thought this was actually gonna, happen. And here we are.
No, no one. I agree. No one really thought this was going to happen. Here we are, and
And
but also, I think it kind of sucks as much as we thought it was going to suck if they're not playing for anything. And then,
yeah,
Yeah, I didn't expect that to
I
be
mean,
true.
I'll be honest, like I'm not really missing any of the live guys like in the PGA
no,
Tour. Like this week was a great tournament. Like I wasn't missing like a Brooks Koepka or Bryson DeChambeau or Dustin
Absolutely
Johnson.
not.
Like
I don't care.
it's
They
like I
don't even
don't miss
compete during
them, but
majors anyway. Those guys, like, I mean, maybe Bryson, but like Brooks, like he never played well in like regular tour events that like actual PGA Tour fans watch.
DJ did. It's hard to. It's DJ is not someone who's out there enough for you to say, "Oh, I'm a huge DJ fan, and I'm gonna ride or die with everything he does." Like people are like, there's not many people like that out there. I feel like, but also if JJ Spawn wins this tournament, how like the narrative is probably completely flipped, and we're probably thinking like, what if DJ and Brooks and Bryson were in this event? And it's it is something to think about, but it's again, it's only those three guys right now. Thankfully, Cam soon to join them probably. So.
On that note, would we like to move into skins and start talking about the BMW Championship?
sure.
So
Criteria.
let's get into skins. We're at Wilmington Country Club this week in Delaware. Honestly, I have no clue anything about it other than the fact that it's a bomber's paradise because apparently like it's pretty open and like the rough apparent is like kind of thick apparently, but I don't think it's too taxing on the players from what I have gathered. But with that being said, who wants to start with their winner?
Okay, completely off the cuff here. You did say Bomber's Paradise, but I see a name on the board, and I'm just gonna stick with it.
Okay.
Colin Morikawa, 20-1. He played pretty well last week, I think. I had him in my DFS lineup last week, and he did pretty well. I think he finished in the top 5, kind of backdoor. Great ball striker. Kind of a weird, like previous tournaments, he has a couple top 5s, but also a couple missed cuts. So it's up and down. But if you're coming off a pair of like top 5s, you just gotta get hot for these 3 weeks, and I can see it happening for Colin Morikawa.
He won't miss the cut this week.
Right.
70-man field, no
Yeah,
cut
70-man field. He will not miss the cut.
But I feel like to your point, picking Colin Morikawa, one of the big dogs is gonna win most likely. We saw it last year at the BMW Championship. It was like Cantley and DeChambeau in the last in the playoff. When you have a 70-man shortened field event, you give these guys 4 days to play.
Yeah, I wanted like a little bit of value. I mean, that's not a lot of value,
Right.
but like
My
it's a
pick.
little bit.
I've got some value. 25-1 Cameron Young. I
Okay.
think
Bomber.
when you think about Bombers Paradise and when you think about somebody who can go low, I saw that the over under on the total score of the tournament is 21 under and a half. Kind of seems like a good little range for a Cameron Young.
I mean, his college roommate Will Zalatoris won last week, so
Also another storyline I was looking at. But
Yeah,
I mean,
good. That'd be a great storyline.
we can talk about some more guys once Trevor gets his pick.
Cameron Young, we thought he was going to live like a couple weeks ago.
yeah, those rumors have kind of been shot down a little bit.
Yeah, thank God. Honestly, like that would have been worse than Cam Smith in my opinion. I don't know why.
Oh, that would have sucked.
American.
That would have sucked.
It would have been a young American up and coming like that. It would have been so bad. I will go with Tony Finau. I think playing great. Like might be the highest player in the whole field, to be honest. Bomber Paradise, good putter. Play like thinking about the places he's won, but it's places you can go really low at, like a Detroit Country Club, and you go really low, and he's like he usually plays pretty well at those tournaments, and he did recently. So I'll go with Big Tone.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Will Zalatoris kind of rebounds off of his win. I feel like I mean, there's not a ton of value. I think he's 14-1, but I don't mind Will Zalatoris to repeat. We talk about hot guys, like guys that
I
get
don't
hot.
mind him either.
Guys that get hot during the playoffs. So
he could be this year's
Cantlay.
Cantlay, yeah, Cantlay. It's definitely possible. I think it'll be I mean, it's a bomber's course, and he's really good at putting, like you said. I think Max Homa could play really well. Good putter.
The thing I love about this week is that like all it takes is a win here, and you might win the tour championship.
Yeah,
like you're going to be put in a very good position if you win this week.
Zalatoris is number one FedEx Cup after his winning for his first time in his career last week, and it's like just one win, and maybe like all he has to do is he doesn't have to win; he just to play pretty well, and he's probably holding on to that top spot as long as Scotty doesn't, I guess, overtake him. It sounds like, but it's one good week, one win, and you could be in line for 15. It's not just 2 million you're in line for. It could be 15 million you're in line for.
Yeah, I mean, also like Zalatoris, even though he hasn't won a ton, well, only won once, but like he shows up in the big events. Like he's come second in like all the majors, like I think, except for the Open. So he kind of just shows up, and I think that's something that could happen in the FedEx Cup playoffs. He could be one of those guys that just shows up at the FedEx Cup playoffs. He didn't even get to play the FedEx Cup playoffs last year, which was
that's his first time.
That sucked. Yeah, they were talking about that on the broadcast, and I was like, oh yeah, like he totally should have been in it last year.
Now that's something that should change. If we're gonna change something, that's something that could change. I mean, we could have not had Tom Kim in the field this week, and that would have sucked. So
yeah. Do you think Tom Kim makes it to Eastlake? I feel like he probably does.
Where is he in the standings?
He's like
Tom
30?
Kim. He is 26th.
26. Okay, that got the 36, 26, yeah.
But he's also not a bomber at all, so that kind of scares me a little bit.
No, he doesn't hit it very far at all.
No, at all. So
but it's really hard
like you don't have to hit it.
No, you
far.
don't.
Like you just say it's a bomber's paradise because it's like wide open, but like it all comes down to like your iron play in every tournament. Really, it's just like ball striking. I mean, every once in a while you could have a Bryson that like kind of gets it super close to the greens, but like I don't think this course is like that. Like I don't think it's like a super short.
Well, I think what I mean by that is just you can let driver rip, and the big hitters have a little bit more advantage.
Still got to hit that. Still got to hit that second shot.
Yeah, with more dispersion, they'll be able to get away with it more than they used to do like a place like Harbor Town.
The thing that I hate about what I do sometimes is like, say you're putting together like a lineup or something, and you take into account all the research you've done, and on Thursday morning you are watching and you're like, at the end of the day, it's just a golf course. Like these guys are good golfers. I didn't pick like, I don't know, John Rahm because I was like, oh no, like this course is better for guys who draw the ball. No, it's a golf. Like at the end of the day, it's a golf course. The best players in the world are going to win.
That's my new strategy. It's just picking a lineup. Pick a lineup. Don't pick like a type of golfer. Because if you just pick 5 bombers, you're probably not going to win.
Help.
Picking a lineup is a good strategy.
Yeah, pick a lineup, a full lineup. Don't just pick.
Pick a lineup of 6 golfers. Yeah. Just 6 players.
Yeah, under the salary.
It usually works. Usually the guys who have that line, a full lineup.
Yeah, they have that full lineup.
Yeah, they usually win those things.
You're not going to miss any cuts in your lineup this week.
No.
So.
I wish in DFS they let you like pick like 3 golfers and then you just like could waste all your salary on like 3 instead of 6. I want to see how that strategy would work. Kind of like our like the office pools.
The fantasy golf stuff. Oh yeah.
I don't know. That would be off. No, that'd be.
Maybe not 3, but like say you could pick 4 instead of 6, or like 5 instead of 6.
You need 6 though. Like
I know, to make a cut for you.
Yeah. So I don't know, but another name that I wanted to talk about who got cut this week, played awful, but is 40-1 is Jordan Spieth. I don't have any confidence that he can.
I'm not on the Spieth train right now.
But it's always crazy when you see Jordan Spieth at 40-1. Like you're always like, damn, like he could win because he's Jordan Spieth and could turn it on and like be Jordan Spieth instead of what we saw last.
Tom Kim on this side. Tom Kim has better odds than Jordan Spieth.
I know they're like 35-1 versus like 40-1. Yeah.
I mean, the Jordan Spieth's game, like, you know how we said, like, you got to get hot for these 3 weeks, Like, Jordan Spieth's on, like, the opposite trend. It's like, oh, like, he's going to get cold for these 3 weeks.
Also, if anyone's just going to completely buck that in any given moment, it's going to be Jordan Spieth, too.
Right. Something always clicks for him. Like
he's going to come back, and we're going to say Jordan Spieth is back, and he's going to come in second because he's going to miss a 2-footer on 17, and then he's probably going to do the same thing again next week. He'll probably miss the cut somehow at the Tour Championship.
So here's a good question for you guys. And I'll start with somebody who I think could do it. But who's a guy that's not one of the big, names that we think is going to win this week that you think could win this week? Because if you want to take a look at good finishes, Cameron Davis, the last 5 weeks, 13 at FedEx St. Jude, 14 at Rocket Mortgage, 16 at 3M Open, 6 at Barracuda, 8 at John Deere.
Yeah.
Hasn't finished outside 16 in the last 5 tournaments he's played.
That's good form. I think I picked him to win one of those tournaments too, and he did pretty well.
3M Open.
Like, you're pretty much asking who's this week's Sepp Straka, basically.
Yeah, I always get drawn to Sahith Theegala. I think he's gonna. He definitely someone who's.
I don't mind that. I think that'd be a good one.
It's FedEx Cup playoffs. I mean, that means Billy Horschel has a shot.
That's true.
Weird feeling about Taylor Pendrith.
He's a bomber.
Sick golf.
Oh yeah, I had them that 1 week too.
He's a bomber, and he just is just. I mean, he's playing such good golf. The other week at Sedgefield at the Wyndham, like didn't put him in the DFS lineup because I was like, he's not going to do it again. He was well priced, but lo and behold, like he put up. What did he finish there? He finished 13th there, and he didn't have a great week this week, but he made the cut.
I have another question. So who inside of the top 30 right now is going to fall out of the top 30?
Did you just put the link to it?
This link's probably more
Who's going to fall out of the top 30?
because the link I sent still has
You have to
Taylor Gooch in
imagine.
I hope Gooch does. Or actually,
yeah, yeah. I was about to say the link I sent has Gooch in it, so this is an updated link. But
it got me.
Maybe
inside,
Kisner.
yeah, maybe Kisner.
JJ
I'm trying to think of
Spawn.
like how bad of a week you have to move.
Well, because he's down at the bottom.
Yeah,
JJ Spawn. He had an awful Sunday.
how's Tom Hoagie been playing?
When was the last time we heard from Scory?
Shut up.
Canadian Open.
I haven't heard from him in a long time.
Tom Hoagie's been up and
If
up and
Scory
down.
wins in a week that I don't pick Scory, I'm actually going to
Devastating.
like.
You might have to delete your Twitter account.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but I can't keep like picking him.
It's okay. We got him for the Masters next year. It's sad.
Have I told you about that like 10-cent parlay that me and Jeek put together?
No.
Let me pull it up. It's awesome. So
It's not gonna happen. But
the winners of the majors.
what?
no,
So
it's
Corey
all
Connors
over
is
the
a
place.
part of it. Corey Connors is a part of it. But let me take you through it. So the first thing that has to happen is the Yankees have to win the World Series.
Oh God.
Not looking so hot right now, Yankees
The
fans.
second thing that has to happen is the USC Trojans have to win the national
Oh
championship.
my gosh.
Lincoln Riley, we trust.
The third thing that has to happen is the Cincinnati Bengals need to win the Super Bowl.
Well, I bet based off the first two, I thought you were going to say Giants because it's two homer picks, and then so that's a little bit better, I guess.
Okay, so those three things, while unlikely that all three happen, feasible.
Feasible, yeah.
And then that probably ends on like, whenever the Super Bowl is, like early February. And then you got 2 months to sit on it if it's 3 for 3 through there. When Corey Connors wins the Masters.
If we're 3 for 3 on that, I'm probably cashing out.
You basically have to hope that if that Bama and Georgia somehow just like CJ Stroud and Bryce Young, like they get injured and they lose to like Vanderbilt and Purdue or something like that.
So
I will be cashing out and then putting $100 on Corey Connors to win the Masters.
So Trev, it's 10 cents. How much do you think it pays out?
Oh my God, probably 10 cents. 20K.
Oh, close, like 15.
Oh, that's okay. It's definitely worth it. It's definitely
worth 10 cents.
It's definitely gonna happen. So
yeah, it's definitely worth it.
Imagine if we each put $1 on that instead of 10 cents.
What if you make like 10 parlays like that, which different combinations
for like $1? Yeah.
They'll probably all lose, but
it's worth $1.
Maybe we'll do one next year. We just have a majors parlay. All of what we each do. We do a parlay for the 4 majors.
We should do that. That'd be crazy.
It'd be fun. I'd do it.
Yeah.
Roy wins on 4
next clubhouse.
Yeah, let's get in the clubhouse.
Okay. I haven't played golf since the last podcast, so
I'm playing like once or twice a week now. I'm liking it.
Yeah,
I played Saturday or Sunday. I played bad.
I know. Well, yeah, and G and I were texting with the Chelsea game. We're both on the golf course, and we're just like freaking out because it's Cucurella's getting pulled down by his hair, and there's no red card, and
don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, no, it wasn't fun. I also am at the point where I'm in between 78 and 82 every single time I play. Doesn't matter how good or how bad. It's 78 and 82 every.
That's not a bad place to be.
No, it's not.
Yeah, you could be at my point where I'm like want to like sell my irons right now. Not actually, but like kind of.
It's I could definitely be in a worse place, but it's like some of those rounds I'm like, I think I played there today, and I had 3 doubles, and I played the other 15 holes, like 1 over par. And that was it. Like,
That's tough.
It's just stupid holes, and like 2 shots that I'm like, wow, I could have been like 4 or 5 shots better on this course. So
It's a tough pill to swallow.
it's. But then if I play bad, it's like, all right, I shot 82. That's my bad round. So could be worse, I guess, but just frustrating.
Could be a lot worse.
And I can hit my clubs in the air now, which is great. So that's always a plus.
I have like a broken golf swing at the moment, so
I'm hitting the ball very well.
it feels like a foreign sport to me at the moment.
Not scoring because I don't play that much, but like
Mm-hmm.
I'm hitting some just absolutely bomb drives.
We're at a point where my game is completely flopped. Where like my short game has been pretty good, but my like iron game is like so bad right now. And like I've never been good with the driver, but like I used to be so bad at short game that I would like just play so bad, but now it's like the complete opposite.
The one thing I've been leaning on while like not being, able to play that much is that the one thing you control is you can control is like your putting. And I just like I'm a good putter now. I don't
I've
know
just
what
been
it
like
is.
too
Nothing
bad.
else is like really
that
all that
confidence, like you even have to like practice. Like that confidence is worth so much putting. It's awesome. It feels so good when you like.
Like
just
if
putting,
I'm like under 10 feet, like I feel like I'm gonna make it.
it's the best. That's the best feeling in the world. It's the best feeling, and like you make it more often than not when you think like that.
Yeah.
But I had to put on an aerated green on Sunday, which wasn't fun.
That's always tough. You just try to get that close to the hole and then just like pick up.
There was one putt I did lag putt it, and I was on 2. I'm like, I hit a pretty good approach shot, but it was like it was a long hole, and I hit it and it bounced. I swear to God, a 1.5 feet in the air, ended up halfway to the hole. I'm like, oh, that's an automatic 3 putt. I know I'm not gonna make the next one because it's 20 feet away. And I'm playing an aerated green, but it's what it is. I also might be home. I might be home on Labor Day weekend or the weekend after that. I'm not sure yet.
Okay.
So maybe we can play. I'm not. I'll figure it out. But
3-man scramble.
There's one weekend in September that I can't. I think it's the weekend of like the 10th or 11th.
Yeah, we don't need the podcast to hear our schedule.
Okay. Anyway, let's end the week off with premonitions. I haven't thought of one, but I'm usually good at coming up with these on the spot.
I am?
No, I just felt like I feel like we all are like pretty good at just coming up with one on the spot.
Okay, I got one.
Okay.
Patrick Cantlay does it again. Wins the BMW again, and you're just like, what in the world? Why Patrick Cantlay?
Okay,
yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. I think that's good. Ben James, hometown kid, wins. Connecticut-born kid wins the USAM. He's
Okay.
T9 right now after 2 days. Gonna make match play. 18 years old.
Tiger makes big headlines this week. Whatever it is.
I think if he walks out of there and something is said from the PGA Tour, that's a big headline.
Something big happens in terms of announcements.
Yeah, usually when Tiger makes an appearance, something big happens. So.
Yeah.
By the way, do you know who, does anyone know who Alex Smalley is?
Yeah, of course.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I mean, yeah, he's like on the PGA Tour.
He's at bottom of the DFS lineup.
He's the one guy in this field that I have never heard of my entire life.
You've never heard of Alex Smalley?
No, never.
I mean, you are acting like Alex Smalley's like Adam Scott, but yeah.
I feel like we've talked.
Yeah,
about
we do talk like,
about
of course. I'm like, how the hell like did you
know who he was, right, Cheek?
Yeah, of course.
Of course, yeah, of course.
I mean, Alex Smalley's a big DFS guy. Like he goes on the bottom.
He's a big DFS guy, and I feel like
I've never heard of him. Or like, you could put 10 guys in front of me, and I would not know who he was.
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of guys like that where don't really know what they look like.
I always thought Trey Mullinax was this like. I always thought Trey Mullinax and Troy Merritt were the same person.
Yeah, I can see that too, especially since
They're
they were like
completely
in the same spot on the leaderboard this week. That
Yeah.
was confusing.
I didn't know what Mito Pereira looked like for like the first like year of his.
Yeah, and we were like on him. For
Oh, that's fair. He was on the Corn Ferry Tour.
Yeah,
That's just fair. And this guy's in the top 70 of the FedEx Cup, and I have no idea. I've never heard of him before in my life.
that's crazy.
Mm,
Well, now you know.
Now I know. No,
Yeah,
I'll probably win.
Watch out for him this week, guys.
Yeah.
Top 10.
But
Okay.
yeah, so enjoy everybody the last like somewhat full field event. You know, it's still 70 people, but you know, next week isn't like, I mean, it's exciting, but it's never like the most like crazy tournament because it's only 30 people. Like the TV viewership, like, you know, the quality goes a little bit down except for Sunday. But yeah, enjoy the BMW Championship, and we'll see you next week for the Tour Championship.